Hey everybody! Woohoo! I
Hi.
see you. Hey Utica.
Hi, Jennifer. It's my student and my
Oh,
mom's here too.
you get extra credit points, Jennifer. Maybe. I don't know. I'm only saying that. So I'm not recording, and we'll just get this party started. Welcome everybody. My name is Danny Lan. I'm a librarian at the Santa Clara City Library. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I know you could have been anywhere on the virtual world and outside, but you're here with us enjoying this great concert. So without further ado, I'd just like to kick it off right with this bio. The soulful, effortless sounds of vocalist and songwriter Amy D envelops listeners in a dreamlike fusion of jazz, soul, world, and R&B styles, bridging genres and generations alike. Combined with inspiring lyrics and heartfelt storytelling, her music is a timeless soundscape inviting reflection, healing, and growth. There is intentional meaning in it all. Last year, she released her full-length album, Like You, and she has been a staple of the Bay Area's burgeoning musical landscape for a decade plus. Normally, you would be able to catch her singing at any number of clubs with her session bands in San Jose, but because of COVID-19, we are now blessed through the magic of the internet with her presence right here. So, everybody, without further ado, Miss Amy D. Hi, what's up, Amy?
Hi, Danny. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. I was just trying not to blush.
Well, you're gonna blush, but you're gonna do so much more through this session. And for everybody out there, we're gonna wrap with Amy with as an interview, but also a concert. So we're gonna take some pauses after some songs, but we're really gonna get to know you. And I'm probably gonna get to know you more than I already do, which is probably not as much as you think I do. So surprise me, and I'm sure.
I hope I can.
How have you been so far during this period?
I've been good. I think we're all doing the best we can and riding the highs and lows with the resources and tools we have to do that. So as we were talking about before we hopped on, it's like, I think being an artist has taught me to be adaptable. And if this is any situation to adapt in, it has certainly been that. And I'm very grateful for the support of my family and my friends, and like it's the community aspect of things. Even though much of my interactions with people are online, like that just has made all the difference. Like just even hanging out with friends on like a Friday happy hour on Zoom, oddly enough, like can kind of satisfy the need for a connection. And taking walks, I think I didn't realize like that walking could be a hobby, but I definitely like need walks to feel okay. So
Well, I'm grateful that you're finding those pockets in the world where you can, reflect and enjoy, I guess, the solitude and nature while still connecting through the virtual landscape. But definitely not the same as, real hugs, real people, But we're gonna self hug right now. So
we're just self-hugging, but I'm really sending it. I'm sending it to you, Danny, because like that's what I love. That's what I love so much about downtown San Jose that I think I took for granted. Maybe is just like walking into somewhere like a venue or walking down the street even and being like, "Whoa, what's up?" Like I'm just like embraces.
I will
We took
not
embraces
regret
for
it.
granted.
Yeah, I'm not gonna regret it when we get back to it. I swear. Whether people want me to hug them or not, I'm just gonna smile like a crazy person at them. I'm like, feel this love because I miss you so
People.
much.
Yeah, I feel that. So
Well, how about we just jump into our first song?
okay, let's do it.
All right.
Uh, all right. Well, before I start, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. And I know that Danny's going to stream this out later. So yeah, I can't wait to play for you. And even if it's not the ideal setting, I swear, like our energies connect, even in a distant way. So thank you so much for being here. And I think you're still the speaker. I don't know why, but I'm trying to, maybe I'll just keep it on this. I'm good? Okay. All right. And I like to start pretty much every live streamed thing with breath, because if we can be connected by anything, we can all take a deep breath together. I do it with my students all the time. So if you could join me in just taking a deep cleansing breath, breathing in through your nose, and exhale through your mouth. And this is the title track of my album, Like You. Like you've never known the weight of heavy-hearted. Like you've overcome the boundaries and the walls. Like you're standing in your greatness. You were born to love yourself. Dance like you, speak like you, stand like you love yourself. Shine like you, grow like you, love like you love yourself, like you love yourself. Love yourself. Searching the sky for a home, facing the world on my own, black and blue in this corner, taking a hard look, etched in the stone of this soul. Bridges I've burned left me cold, weaving dreams in this corner, taking a hard look. A look the world, where do I belong in it? The questions that seem so small. If I'm building a world, where do I belong in it? Where do I belong? Where do I belong? Where do I belong? Faced with the wild unknown, lost in the gray of control, open hands in this corner, taking a hard look, straining your eyes in the glass, unsure of the eyes staring back, lost my way in this corner, taking a hard look. A look at the world, where do I belong in it? The questions that seem so small. If I'm building a world, where do I belong in it? Where do I belong? Where do I belong? Where do I belong? Do 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 where do I belong? 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 Where do I belong?
Woo! You know, Amy,
Thank you.
I think I've known you almost a little over 7 years. I think around that time, you know, and I think I remember the first time I heard you sing, and I don't think I didn't know who you were, you know. I think we were hanging out with different people at the time, but it was definitely in downtown San Jose. And when I heard you, I had to pause. And what you brought with your voice, the way you present your music, is that hopefulness. Even if it feels, you know, in the words of certain songs, there's a longing and loss. You bring a sense of hope that really captures an audience, and definitely captured me. And I think I do remember a time, and I don't think I knew you, but I went up to you and I said hi, but we didn't know each other. But I think during that time, we established that we will know each other. And I'm grateful that our friendship has lasted this long. And yeah, it's that string of songs was really beautiful. So, you know, tell me about, just a little about, you know, your musical background, but maybe what inspired you to start singing, maybe start playing. Was it your parents?
Well, first of all, thank you. You almost like You almost made me cry there for a second. That just your words mean so much to me, especially in a time where it's like if there was any time to question being an artist and question my path, it has been this time for sure. But it's just so wonderful to be here with you. So thank you, Danny.
It's $1 million right now, maybe $1 billion. I think it's $1 billion.
$1 billion.
$1 billion.
Yeah, definitely. My parents have had a huge influence on me as music lovers and music appreciators. We had music playing in the house at all times. And I have two sisters. I have a twin sister and an older sister, and we just were performing in the house. Like we were just like, oh, by the way, after dinner we have a production for you tonight. So we were always singing together and running around playing dress up. That was our thing. So I think, it's no wonder that my sisters and I all became artists of some type and creatives. And then, the pop era, Britney Spears, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, like that was at a very formidable time in my youth. And I was obsessed with Britney Spears, and I sang one of her most dramatic songs in the 5th grade talent show.
Oh, wow.
It's called From the Bottom of My Broken Heart. Like, please, come on, you're 10. Like, you're 10, you're 11, like, old soul.
I'm sure you got huge applause from everybody, so don't worry.
I don't remember it. Like, I don't remember, but my mom, I think I'm going to turn, I have my effects off. Wait, I have it on somewhere. I felt like I had like a reverb going on. My mom, I think, heard something in that performance, and she was like, do you want to go to this jazz camp this summer?
Jazz camp.
And I was so not interested. I was like, me, jazz camp? No, it's just not my thing. And she said, okay, well, if you don't like it, then you can go to the first day and then you never have to go back. And I was like, okay. So I went, and obviously never really turned back. And that was just the beginning of fully diving into like jazz music and becoming a musician. I had taken piano lessons before, but I really loved singing. And it's something there's always more to unlock and to free up and to unleash. Like, singing is such a powerful thing for all of us. It's actually one of the healthiest things that we can do as humans. So
shout out to Mama Gail for making her go to jazz camp. We're grateful to that suggestion and to her sticking to it, definitely. And so you talk about singing and how it heals. Do you find that when you're singing that your intentions are to help heal others while also healing or releasing something within yourself?
Absolutely. I just this year learned more about singing as a healing mechanism. It's our vocal cords are attached to our vagal nerve, which has all of it. It's connected to our major organ systems. Like, singing is actually healthy for us, and it calms our nervous system. And I think during this time specifically, I've remembered, oh yeah, like I know what I can do right now. If I feel frustrated or stressed or sad or whatever, I can sing and I will feel better in moments. In moments, I all suddenly can like kind of shake myself out of it. So, and I definitely feel the intention to heal others with music because, especially now with not being able to be in person, the power of a frequency that's sent through the airwaves, with radio too. That's been going on forever. So I continue to believe in the power of music and the power of our voices to heal ourselves and to heal others.
I think not only does your voice, magnify the emotions that you're trying to present, the joy in all of it. Just seeing, your ability to right now be your own band, though I'm used to seeing you accompanying many people, jamming with you. We're just grateful that you're able to still present this music in your own way. And that's no easy feat. So, I congratulate and applaud you for that.
Thank you. I really miss playing with a band. Really,
I'm sure they miss you too. If
A
they're not already watching this, they all miss you. I'm sure.
Oh my God. But yes, thank you. I've been trying to make it work in a solo setting, and I play piano to write and to arrange music and stuff, but it is a totally different animal to accompany myself and to create what I want to hear, because I'm used to standing next to someone who's just like shredding away. So just doing the best with what I have.
I've seen you as a band leader, and you're sometimes scary if things go wrong. I'm like, oh, they better follow her right now.
Well,
we're finishing the song now, guys.
Sometimes you have to tell them once, tell them twice.
Well, how about we hear some more songs from you right now?
Cool. Yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna move away from my album for a moment, which you can get on all streaming platforms. If you look up Like You, Amy D, please keep that album in your rotation. I do believe that there are lots of affirming messages in the album, and I would love to just keep that flowing to you. So this is actually a newer song, and I wrote it right before the pandemic, which is ironic, but it is about emotional freedom, and all we need is a voice, and we'll make it to the other side. So do 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 Under the surface, hidden in corners, we let them slide. Shout and whisper, explosions and fire, burning inside. What we know, what we think, holding so tight. All we need is a voice. We'll make it to the other side, 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 the other side. The other side, the other side, the other side, we'll make it to the other side, the other side, the other side, we'll make it to the other side. Look into your eyes, hold the answer. Let go of your pride. Each feeling good, no fault of another. Placing blame, taking sides. How we grow, how for a single smile. All we need is release. We'll make it to the other side, 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 the other side. We'll make it to the other side, the other side, the other side, the other side, the other
Woo! I love it. I love that breakdown. It's just amazing. When did you just write this recently? You said it just recently, but
let me turn this off. Sorry. I wrote that. I started writing it in February.
Okay.
And then I finished it once like shelter in place happened and stuff. But I got this looper. It's called a Boss 505 looper. Her name is Lucy.
Hey, Lucy.
Lucy the looper. And I got it last year, but only in the past couple months have I really been practicing on it and writing a little bit more and stuff. But it definitely helps with the whole solo act.
I mean, if that's just practice, and I hope you're just practicing a lot, you know?
Working on it, trying. Yeah.
I know, because it really loops into, we have a question by, I think, Still, which speaks to that song, but also Still asks, can Amy speak to the song Like You and how it came into being? And I guess this goes also into your songwriting. How do you, what is your method of into creating your songs, your lyrics, maybe the melodies? Do you have a process that you have adhered to, or does it change often depending on the mood or inspiration?
I wish I could have a process. Like I wish there was a way for me to say this always works. It's not that predictable. Every song I feel like comes in its own way, just like every person and opportunities and things. Like things just kind of float around, and if we can catch it and get it quick enough, then we can follow through on the idea. So it's all very different. So Like You, I was inspired to write that after a yoga class. The mantra for the yoga class was move like you love yourself, breathe like you love yourself. And I was left the class and I went home and wrote the song. Like it was just like super fast. The Other Side, I think I had recorded a voice note of that first line, do, 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 do. Like I recorded that separately. And then I went home later and I have no shame in my game. This year I've been in therapy, and I think mental health is super important. So I wrote the song about emotional freedom because I realized how many emotions I was suppressing, and how powerful it is once you can like recognize, oh, I'm angry right now. And it's like emotions are physical manifestations before they're a reaction, So I've just been learning to listen to my body a lot more and and to be okay with just the spectrum of emotional technicolor, you know?
I think a lot of times that, I also speak for myself as an artist. Artists, for those who don't practice any kind of form of creativity often, we're often expected to perform or be seen in a certain way, like 24/7. But that's not who we are. That's not always the case. We're human like everybody else, and sometimes maybe you can speak to this. Sometimes we don't want to perform. Some days we just don't want to be on that stage or be there, with a chagrined smile, just ready for everything. Because we're not, right now, I think during this time of the pandemic, we're feeling that even further, of our need to take care of how we're feeling, how we're projecting ourselves in a very authentic manner, right? And being honest about what was life before the pandemic, and for us, and what does it really mean, and how it should be nurtured moving forward. So no shame at all,
I mean, if I can encourage anyone who's out there like listening to explore options for therapy, or like really any sort of emotional inquiry, and also creativity, making music, making art in any way is emotional inquiry. We can learn so much about ourselves that way. So
yeah,
let's
it's
do it.
just do it. I mean, even if you don't have the best voice or the greatest voice, maybe your lyrics don't seem as deep and meaningful. That's not for anybody to judge. That's for you to put it on the page. As a writer myself of poetry, I have 1,000 bad poems before I come to one good, decent poem. And that's okay. I love those 1,000 horrible poems all the same. They stay in my folder just for me.
Absolutely. I'm the same way with my songwriting. I feel like I'm lucky if I get a good song out of every 10.
Well, in my opinion, you have a lot of great songs, and if
but
that's just
you haven't heard all the little voice notes that are in here that are like,
on your phone. You're like, record now.
Yeah.
Here's the melody.
That's how it is. I swear. I wish it were more charming than that, but it's just like singing into the phone.
You're charming us now.
There you go.
You have anything else for us? Of course you do.
I have so many songs. I think it's just a matter of how much time we have.
We got time. So okay. Maybe you want to do a string of them?
Okay, I'll do a couple then. All right. Speaking of just emotional awareness, I feel like that's a very strong theme for me, because songs are the place where I can channel that. And this is another tune from my album called Out of Water, and I think it is also very relevant to these times. My feet suspended in the tide, gasping for ground. My limbs tangled in an unexpected detour, turbulent wind. Grant me a moment, swim to the side, catch my breath. I'm out of water. The time escapes before my eyes. What is too late? The thoughts questioning the very purpose Should I leap or just win? Grant me the silence, swim to the side, catch my breath. I'm out of water, 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 water. A legend in my own mind, a masterpiece of blurred lines, incomplete, imperfect, tangled in the self-important ride. Is there a swing to this, or is it meaningless, with no end in sight? Beep, 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 ba do little little ba da da do. La 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 da do. Beep, 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 ba do little little ba da da do. Grant me a moment, swim to the side, catch my breath. I'm out of water, 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 water. I'm out of water, water, water. I'm out of water. Thank you. That was Out of Water from my album Like You. And just to give myself a tiny break from playing, this isn't my usual practice. I love playing with live bands. It's fun to accompany myself, but sometimes the effect or the mood of the track gets lost. And I just wanted to give you guys a little taste of my album in its full sonic landscape. And to give credit where it's due, Michael Auberg was the producer of this album. And there are so many amazing musicians who contributed to my record, whether, sometimes co-writing or in the studio process. So this is one of my favorite songs on the album. And it is for anyone out there who has struggled with the weird realities of modern romance. So I thought I'd bring back an old school term, the word unrequited. So. I knew it right from the beginning. Hearts without wings can never fly. But there was something in the yearning that made it all right. Our eyes stayed open till the morning, unsettled by no second chance. How could I be so undeserving? No, I'm not all right. This unrequited feeling digging into every fiber of my mind. unrequited love might be the end of me. Might be. This unrequited love. This unrequited love. You call my name, but I can't listen. For I am lost in shade and fog. If I give in to what we're feeling, it can't be alright. I'll never be the one you're missing. Let me remain in my own world. This frozen heart won't be the reason, and I won't hold you tight. And this unrequited feeling dominating every hour of my time. And this unrequited love might be the end of me. Might be. This unrequited love. This unrequited love. This unrequited love. This unrequited love. That's Dana Stevens you're hearing on the saxophone, and now on the EWI. He's a mad scientist. If you don't know about Dana Stevens. Bay Area born, but living in New York City. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, set me free, or this might be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, unrequited love is making me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, unrequited love is making me. Unrequited love is making me. This unrequited love is making me. That was unrequited. I'm the echoist right now. Do you want to chat a little, Danny, or?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, let's do it.
And I'm not going to leave you to yourself. It is still weird that you're by yourself and I'm by myself in my room, as well as all the attendees right now. But we're here together.
Make it work.
I just love how you made. I think for most people who might be single or have strong feelings for people who don't reciprocate that feeling into such a hopeful song, because believe me, I've gone through a lot of unrequited loves in my lifetime, and I'm sure we all have.
Haven't we all?
Haven't we all?
If we've lived, you know.
If you have lived, then you must have many unrequited loves in your lifetime. You should, but don't wish it upon yourself. Don't.
I don't wish it upon anyone. No.
Can you a lot right now I think I've seen in the last decade, jazz has found its way into popular music more than ever. It's pretty amazing. For me, I've been a fan of jazz, but it took me going through hip hop music to understand jazz music or black music in general. Um, how do you see jazz um, being permeated through popular music? Is it getting its shine, or do you feel like it's still trying to build itself in light of more popular forms of genres?
Well, my perspective has shifted quite a bit. I think what we have to acknowledge is that most music that we love is rooted in Black music and Black musical tradition. I'm learning more about that, and I need to give credit where it's due, because I think it's kind of the opposite of what you said, which is Black music, whether that's R&B, whether that's blues, jazz, hip hop, all of these styles built the popular music that we listen to today. Like, it's not, I mean, it's a total like intermingling of things and history,
Right.
of course, but it's like, just learning about the 1960s and the oppression that was happening for Black musicians and what they went through to get their music heard. And then once it was heard, suddenly some of the stereotypes around being Black and racism like start to dissolve, because people are like, wait, this music is so good, I just want to listen to it. But it's besides the point. It comes from struggle, and it comes from so many like feelings, and it's an undercurrent of pain that breeds incredible music, sadly. Like, that's, I don't want that to be the case, but especially with Black music, with jazz, it is.
And do you feel, and that's something I'm glad you kind of highlighted, is that American popular forms of music have been or originated in Black culture and Black people's experiences. Do you feel that right now, in the time where our country is at, or a lot of tension, will there be room for re-education about these histories, right, and reintegrating that into the public consciousness, especially in our books, in the way we speak, and the way we create as well, to acknowledge where these inspirations come from? Because a lot of times it gets graced over by a new voice or a new style and genre of music, but that can easily move too quickly because of the way digital music is being produced and consumed at a rapid pace.
I mean, I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope that the education goes in the direction of educating youth and people and listeners and appreciators of this music to know where it comes from. I think that there are huge oversights when it comes to building curriculum in music colleges, for example. Like, to get a music degree, like they emphasize Western classical music as history and what we need to focus on. It's required, it's required that we explore that. But this whole other side, this whole rich, deep history of Black music and cultural music in general, like music from all over the world, we need to know more. It shouldn't just be like, oh, let's spend a week on Motown. It's like, that could be a whole class in itself. And the music continues to evolve. And I think redistribution of wealth in music is really would be an important step. Giving credit to the artists who make it great. And I think just like a shift in perspective. It's like, why is there so much pride? Why does like one culture have to be above another one? Like, it's all magnificent art, and it all just makes our lives better in many ways. So I have high hopes. And at the same time, like, what else do we need to do? Like, that's what I kind of wonder.
It's a giant question mark sometimes. And but I think what you said, and also what you're doing now and what we're doing now, is it's helpful, because we're having these dialogues. I know you've been having important talks with San Jose Jazz through online conversations with African American artists and other musicians about inherent racism in the culture, as well as what's been generationally and also embedded in the system to sometimes not redistribute that wealth and acknowledgement to artists. So I'm grateful that you've taken it upon yourself to have these conversations, like how I'm conversing with you and making it known. I think we're living in that great period of conversation. I swear I'm in a million Zoom interviews every day, and but it's like I'm getting a master class of knowledge and at my fingertips. So it's a great time and not a great time, but it's like the great pause. We're all pausing to stop and re-examine everything.
Yeah, and I continue to explore ways that I can better uphold Black music as part of the fabric of my music. I'm not Black, I'm half Hawaiian, Chinese, Filipino, half Irish, English, Dutch, and Swedish, like whatever. But saying it out loud, just saying like my career is possible because of Black music. And even other types of music that I'm inspired by are like Black forms of music. Like I love Brazilian music, and the population of Brazil is 51% Black. So it's from somewhere. It's from Africa. It's it's a huge melting pot of music we have access to. So I just continue to do as much research and honoring where this music comes from as I can.
Yeah, and so I'm just grateful that you're everything that has inspired you, what you're exhibiting to us and everybody who's listening right now, is your inspiration, your form of acknowledgement. And it's a beautiful sound. So I'm grateful that it's piercing us in a beautiful way. Maybe one more before we call it a day.
Just one? Oh gosh. Okay.
Well, maybe two.
Maybe two. Okay.
I'm trying to be polite for you,
Oh no, I mean I get so excited about the talking as well as, but I'm kind of trying to think of where should I take us. Well, I have a brand new song that I wrote for Danny, actually.
What?
Yeah, I mean, okay, Danny is one of my favorite humans, and we often dance together out and about in San Jose. Like those are my fondest memories of like seeing you and dancing, give each other a little twirl, So I wrote this the other day. It's like brand new, so it's fresh, so we'll see how it goes. I'm always nervous about
breaking.
Yeah, so this is called, I don't really know what it's called, I guess. I think it's called Something in Real Life. I think that's what it's called. So let's see how this goes. miss our feet. I miss our hips. I miss our arms waving freely side to side. I miss the lights and moving music. Standing so close, I might lose myself. I close my eyes, remember when we found ourselves in the dark, just count to 10. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 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 Not in the comfort of my own home, not in the silence of my mind. Oh, give me music, give me movement, give me something in real life. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, what can we do to keep the lights on? Suddenly standing in the middle of the street. When did this start? When will it end? I'm losing track of the days, just count to 10. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Not from the comfort of my window, can't feel the rhythm from inside. Oh, give me music, give me movement, give me something in real life. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 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 I'm from the comfort of my own home, not in the silence of my mind. Oh, give me movement, give me music, give me something in real life.
Wow. Oh, I was singing a lot. I mean, I'll say this. If you wrote that for me, no one's ever written a song for me. That was that's probably the best song. Nobody's going to knock that song off the, Danny charts for a long time. It's so good. I hope you write. It's a real song, I know, but I hope when you record it, I'm waiting for that. It's great. It's good. It's good.
Thank you. That means a lot to me.
I mean,
it just is like, you can't emulate the feeling of what it feels like to be dancing in a club with your friends. Like, you just can't. There's nothing. Even if you turn the lights off in your room and you have like a strobe, I miss that so much. So.
And every day of the week, definitely. That's what we all miss. I think that intimacy. For me, seeing you play with your band, making us all dance, whether we're in these far dark corners of the room or right in front of you, that's the beauty and magic of music. And you're being able, just that this is a rough draft song, but I was just like shaking those shoulders real hard, you know.
Yeah, that was my test. I was like, if Danny is feeling the vibe, like I need to.
The vibe is all caps and yeah, underscored and bold. It's italicized too. So the definitely I want to be able to give you some, you know, opportunity to share with us any closing words, any thoughts you have about your art, what you do, or also maybe during this, what's going on right now. Maybe impart with us something that what's on your heart these days.
I just think it's so important for us to take care of ourselves. And I think that that's what this is highlighting, is that we might be professionals in some way, or we might have a whole other life that's not possible right now. But at the end of the day, caring for ourselves and like nourishing the goodness in ourselves is so important, especially because there's so much to the contrary that is floating around and in our faces all the time. So yeah, I mean, I think anything that you can do, even if it's tiny things every day, if it's like, I'm going to drink enough water, or I'm going to make it a point to step outside for 5 minutes. Like, I've found the small gestures of kindness towards myself to be the most powerful, as subtle as they are. And as much as I have my highs and lows with music and being a musician in this time, I'm always reminded of my purpose, and you know, the case in point, like this opportunity that you shared with me, like I'm reminded of the joy and like the magic that can happen with live music. And I know we're not together, but this, you know, this is my joy to share with you.
This is the best kicking experience, you know, like, though this is work for me, this is a great opportunity for me to just, you know, bask in, you know, the magic and the greatness that is Amy D, you know. And I think it's been far too long since the last time I saw you sing. So this is great. And I think we're all going to be in agreement, for those who are watching now and going to be watching in the future, that the blessing of musicians and artists, and also the venues who housed them and supported them. This is a very hard time for a lot of people. So I really, you know, I put it out there as well as what Amy said. It's, one, take care of yourselves, take care of one another, you know, social distance, wear a mask. Also speak on that, you know, awareness of that, of taking care of one another, because that's the most important thing. We don't want to see people go sooner than they should, or be in the hospital. It's not something that we really want to wish upon others. But also we want to take care of knowing that we want to, for those venues to stay open in the future, for these magical moments to happen live again, for the production teams, the artists, the band player, the session players, the staff who, you know, take care of the patrons. That ecosystem needs to still exist, and there's a lot of people who are not currently working. So just know that we want to be able to get back to a place of normacy, but we know it's not going to be the same. But we definitely want to get there someday. So until then, let's take care of one another and be safe.
Absolutely. And you know, I'd love to stay in touch with everyone who's on this call and on future live streaming and stuff. So you can find me online at amyd-music.com, or on Instagram at amyd_music. And I would love to continue sharing the good vibes with you. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Of course, thank you.
A lot of good friends in the chat.
Yeah, they're hanging out. They're loving it as much as I'm loving it. Oh, and please, if you haven't picked up her album, do support. She also has dope merch. I think I bought a shirt one time, but it was nighttime and I was dancing and I probably was partying too hard, so I forgot the shirt. But y'all pick up a shirt if you can. It's a beautiful product.
I'll get you a new shirt then.
Yeah, it'll find its way to me someday. Well, everybody, please have a great rest of the evening. We hope you enjoyed this little concert at home. And we'll be posting it online again. So if you want to enjoy it again, you can do that. But definitely check out any future events with Amy and future events with the library. So do take care, and we'll see you again.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Peace.